So welcome back to my channel, guys. I just finished up on the other video on the fuel return system. So this video is about how to disassemble a wastegate. So okay, in my instance the wastegate is already disassembled. I did this last night, but just to show you guys what's going on about what, this is a 5 psi spring. 5 psi is not that much. You can compress it with your hand. You can see I can compress it with my fingers. So if you do have 5 psi in, most probably stock wastegates will already be fitted with a 5 psi spring, unless otherwise stated. Do not quote me on that. So in my case, remember I'm running Rev9, and this is basically how it would be. This was screwed on there on top, and as soon as you undo this ring with a special tool, capiche? You guys know how this works, blah blah blah, hook it in, turn that shit. Like I say, 5 psi spring is easy. Take off the lid, bah, you have that. Take off the spring, bah, you have that. Even if you disassemble everything, you want to put it back, and now you're concerned, fuck it, was the spring on top or was it at the bottom? If you're deep into cobbles, I'm not that deep, but obviously by this stage you are pretty deep, but this shit is straightforward. So you will obviously see that this comes on top, that goes there, this cannot go under the diaphragm because the exhaust pressure have to push this up. So it would have to push against something, would have to push against the spring. The diaphragm is there to seal it off. So once that's apart, you have a shaft on the inside, this shaft, and that pushes up for the exhaust pressure. And how to undo this, you have this small screws. Can the camera just, yeah, about there you see it, Allen key type, and this locks that shaft in place. So once you undo that, in my case I have 1, 2 and 3 on the other side. The shaft has like a ring where this exactly goes in between that ring and keeps the ring in place. Once you do those 3, you can pull out the shaft. Pull out the shaft, then you'll see the diaphragm is now moving freely. Yes, you can remove the diaphragm. Reason why I'm servicing mine is because these screws there inside started coming a bit loose. I guess I didn't tighten them properly enough with the installation, and once you're done screwing those, depending on your setup, how your wastegate is, put the diaphragm back in place, put the shaft in, lock them back in place, put your spring pressure on top. This is 5 psi, this is 10 psi, and we have the big boy, 15 psi. I'm going to be running 5 psi because I have my electronic boost controller, so I want that to be my minimum wastegate pressure. Remember to keep that in mind. If you're running electronic boost controller, the spring pressure you have inside will be your minimum spring pressure. That's what you're going to be running on your setup straight. Blah 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 blah. What else? Assembling the wastegate back. Remember, there is a ring at the bottom of the, let's call it the plunger shaft, that once the spring is in and this head is back on, so now you have this spring pressure pushing the shaft. The shaft has some play in between, and that's where that ring comes in. It seals it off and keeps the plunger shaft back in place. Putting this in the car, there's only one straight way you can go in. Manifold goes on there. You can't put it on there because obviously where's the pressure gonna go to. So in case you guys wanna, if someone asks, there is always someone that asks a question. Guys, I do not believe in stupid questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I've been at that position where I had to ask unnecessary question, but rather be safe than sorry and ask a question than not ask it. Remember guys, for certain screws and stuff, like for those ones I fitted there at the bottom, I keep taking the camera off position. Remember to use some lock thread. I'm just gonna use the same lock thread just across the threads and lock this back into place because my ring came a bit loose. That's also why I'm servicing it. So these are constant things you have to check with turbo builds, with big builds and stuff. You have to check your nuts every now and then, make sure everything's in place, and it's just one of those things. If you have a passion for cars, you don't mind it, but it does become daunting sometimes to constantly check on this, check on that. You notice this, you notice that. But don't go into this stuff if you are not willing to put in the time for this stuff, if you don't have the love for it. Because if you hear that whoosh or that sound, you know you're gonna love it. Might as well put in the effort, do everything proper, do it once, get it done. Yeah guys, remember your gaskets. Yeah, think about it. If you do replace a few things, try and think of getting a few new nuts and bolts and rings and those things, just for safety's sake. One special tool, bloody hell, I found this today. I'm so fucking lucky. This is some type of flexible swivel screwdriver thing. For me, fuck it. You guys know K20Z2? You know the exhaust manifold is at the fucking back. It's hard to get by. With old engines, I believe the exhaust manifold is in front, the B16s, the EKs, EGs. With mine is at the back. My wastegate is at the bottom, so that's why I've checked up the car. I have to climb up under, reach my arm through from the right wheel through that control arm to keep the wastegate in position while my other arm reaches from the sump and or to try keep it from there and then screw it in this place. So that's where this swivel light comes in nicely. I can be at one position and just fit it in place, and this bad boy can bend a bit, so, and then just get it in. I have this thingy. I also have a wrench for it, depending on the space I have inside. It's quite cramped up there. Fuck it, I did it with a normal Allen key. Normal Allen key wasn't that tight. It was tight, but fuck it, hand position was a bit tough. Anyway, that's it on assembling, disassembling wastegate. In my case, Rev9. This is top and bottom vacuum wastegate. Here I have the other nozzle. Remember when putting the vacuum lines back in, the one from the turbo housing goes to the bottom because that have to push the spring up. The one from the top would be for your electronic boost controller to manipulate that spring. While the turbo is pushing it up, the electronic wastegate pushes it down, and that's how you get a bit more boost. Anyway guys, that's it from me. Remember, I'm John Wolf. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Keeping it live on spreading some updates on the K20Z2 turbo build. And back at sea, as soon as I get this boost sorted out properly, hopefully by this week she can go to dyno. Apologies for taking so long. I told you guys I do work at sea. I'm not home often to finish my build. One small upgrade I did was, if you guys know Big 3 sound systems, I took a nice proper 4 gauge wire. You can use 2 gauge or 0 gauge wire. 2 gauge and 0 gauge sound cable, high, what do they call it, high current power wire, do get fucking expensive. They're like 200 and something a meter. This was like $80 a meter, I think. 4 gauge, it's nice and thick. Big 3, remember, from your alternator, your charging wire, to your battery positive, from your battery negative to the nearest body point, mine is right there, to the body. And then what's the fourth one? From the third one, from the engine, grounded to the body as well. I did not do my alternator yet. I'm still struggling to find out where my charging cable from the alternator is to the battery positive. If you guys do know, please mention it to me so that I can probably figure that out. Otherwise, I did my batteries ground, and then what I also have is a voltage stabilizer, so that is also attached to the batteries ground, to the engine, and to the body as well, so it keeps my voltage nice and steady. Yeah, so that's me, John Wolf. Stay safe, COVID free. Like and subscribe my channel. I'm keeping it live for the K20Z2 guys, and stay safe. Peace out.